Hi, this is Colleen McGee with another episode of Fort Riley, the podcast. Today, we're talking to Chris Otto about the Recycling Center's operations, how they've been affected by COVID, and how you can still get your recyclables taken care of. Talk to me about some of the misconceptions that you're finding people are having about what can be recycled.
One of the bigger misconceptions is something that's kind of come along recently, and that would be the numbers 3 through 7 plastics. We've typically, in the past, we've taken those, but with the changing markets, there's really not a place to sell those and no one buying those anymore. So we can't find anybody to even come pick those up and take them from us. So that's one thing that we really can't recycle, that a lot of people rightfully think we can. Other things that I would say are misconceptions, we get all kinds of stuff down there, and I don't know if it's that people don't know it can or can't be recycled, or they just don't care, but we get everything from diapers to jumper cables that tangle up all of our equipment down there. We've gotten dead animals, we've gotten live animals in cages, parts from Humvees, live ammo, all kinds of stuff that we shouldn't be getting. Any live ammo should go to the ammunition supply point, and anything that's safety hazards, there's all kinds of other places to put those.
Wow, so live animals and live ammo, those are really different.
Yes. You name it, we've seen stuff come into the recycle center. We've gotten literally everything up to including a kitchen sink.
Let's go to the opposite end of the spectrum. Tell me some of the things people may not realize are recyclable.
Well, right now we're taking mainly a lot of the typical things that are recyclable. We take the aluminum, number 1s and number 2 plastics, cardboard, paper, so that can include like magazines, glossy, all types of mixed paper, all to office paper. And we do some styrofoam recycling, but we are starting to scale that back because there's just not as much of a market for that as there was a few years ago.
Where do people go to drop off their recyclables?
Well, due to COVID, we've had to scale back how much we pick up, but we still try to keep it as accessible as possible. There's a 24-hour drop-off point near the intersection of 4th and G Street, just right around the corner from the recycle center. And people can bring stuff by there 24/7. We only ask they separate the cardboard from all the other materials. And the cardboard goes into the large containers with the slots on them. The ones that have the black doors that open and close, you can throw all the other materials right into those. But due to COVID, we're not going around and entering people's administrative buildings like we used to in the past. But if you're in an office and there's one of those tan cardboard dumpsters nearby, you can definitely use one of those. They're usually near the dark brown trash dumpsters that are out there.
Can you give me some facts and figures, some numbers of like the tonnage of recyclables that you guys ship on an average week or month?
And that really fluctuates, and that's kind of a hard answer to give just because what we produce here in Fort Riley has changed so much. I mean, the COVID has changed a lot with recycling and with the markets and what people try to recycle. And like one example is cardboard boxes. Those numbers have gone way up just because the amount that's out there with people ordering stuff from home, and there's just a lot more cardboard right now. And we may have 2 to 3 trucks where we send about 40,000 pounds out at a time. So, anywhere from like 80 to 120,000 pounds of cardboard per week. But then just with how things change, there might be a week or two that we don't see much going out. So it's really kind of hard to give a great answer right now because with all this COVID uncertainty, everything's changing, seems by the week at times.
So you said that your program sells these recyclables. What happens to that income?
Well, we're what they call a qualified recycle program. Everything that we sell, the money comes back into here on Fort Riley. The first it goes to pay for the salaries at the recycle center, utilities at the recycle center, and all the materials and equipment that we need. And then when we are lucky enough to have some of that money left over, we reinvest it into Fort Riley. And typically that goes into MWR accounts. That money that comes in is very closely tied to the recycle markets that are out there. It's kind of like stock market, when some commodities are up one month, next month they're down. And in 2019 and the first part of 2020 was historically awful recycling markets out there. But in the past, we've bought things for the marina. We've upgrades at the bowling alley. We've helped buy a lot of different things that MWR rents out. But in the last several years, that market has kind of crashed. Now, luckily, we're hoping to see some of those things change as the global markets change. Like I mentioned earlier, cardboard is one that about a year ago no one wanted. Now everybody seems to need cardboard, so that market has gone up. Mixed paper is another example. About 2 years ago, no one wanted mixed paper, and then we had the big toilet paper shortage of 2020, and all the mixed paper that goes into the subgrade toilet papers is now being bought up, and there's now another market again for it. So when those markets go away, we aren't making much money. Like with cardboard, 2 years ago we would make $200 a ton. Now we're about like $80 a ton. And if we just don't have those markets out there to give us the money, we don't have that income that we typically look for. So unfortunately, the last year or so, we've really just focused on keeping the program going and making sure we have a way to let people here on Fort Riley recycle.
Call 239-2094 and the folks at the Recycling Center will be happy to help you out.